When you are in your 20s, you are in this weird phase of life where on one hand, you are now fully in charge of all your finances, and on the other hand, you'll be like, huh?
What finances? Can eat one now.
You need to budget your money lah. You need to get a credit card lah, set up your emergency funds lah, invest your money lah. This is all super confusing. Trust me, I was there once. That's why in this video, I want to share 5 easy but important steps that you can take to kickstart your personal finance journey. And if you do it right, you will set yourself up for huge success later on in life. But before I start, do join my 8,000 members Telegram chat group to discuss or ask any questions that you might have. Alright, the very first step in your personal finance journey is to budget your finances. The word budgeting may sound cheap, but it's basically just planning where your money goes to so that you can keep yourself from overspending while saving up for your short-term to long-term goals like your BTO down payment, weddings, and even early retirement. One popular way to budget your finances is to use the 50-30-20 budgeting rule, where you first allocate 50% of your monthly income to your needs. These are the basic living expenses that you need to spend to survive. Stuff like your food, rental, insurance, groceries, transportation, and so on. After that, 30% of your money goes to wants. Wants are expenses which are not necessary for your survival but improves your quality of life, such as dining out, Netflix, shopping, and traveling, and flowers to make your girlfriend happy. Only if you have a girlfriend, of course. Finally, the last 20% are the money that you set aside to save and invest. Let's take a look at how will this look like in real life. Fresh grads are now earning around $4,313 a month. Let's round it down to $4,000 for easier calculation. So after being forced, after happily contributing 20% of our pay to CPF, our take-home pay is $3,200. With the 50-30-20 rule, 50% of the take-home pay would mean we allocate $1,600 to our basic needs like our food, rental, insurance, and so on. After that, we allocate 30% or $906 on our wants like buying泡茶, eating at Din Tai Fung, and traveling to Japan every year because Singaporeans like Japan a lot. Finally, we save the last 20% to build up our emergency funds as well as invest and grow the money for our retirement. Here's a pro tip. Instead of relying on your willpower to budget your finances, a better way is to just automate it. So what you do is you open up 3 separate bank accounts, one for your needs, one for your wants, and another for your savings. Then set up recurring transfers to automatically transfer your money over to these accounts every month. That way, you won't be tempted to spend all your money in one go. You ever heard of buy now, pay later? This is like save first, spend later. But where are the best places to park your savings? So far, the best savings account to use is still the UOB One account, even after they have cut their interest rates. That's because if you can spend at least $500 every month on eligible UOB credit cards, and credit your salary in, which by the way can also be fulfilled via a pay now salary transfer, you will enjoy a starting interest rate of 3% per annum. Then the more you save, the higher your effective interest rates. But if your main card is with OCBC, you can check out OCBC 360 instead. That's because if you can credit your salary of at least $1,800, increase your average daily balance by at least $500 every month, and spend at least $500 on eligible OCBC cards, you can enjoy an even higher interest rate of 3.8% per annum. However, if you are unable to fulfill the salary crediting criteria or credit card spend criteria, maybe because you are not spending that much money, or maybe because you are a freelancer who doesn't have a fixed income, in that case, you can check out Bank, which is currently giving a 2.7% per annum interest without any criteria. Otherwise, if you're okay with some risk, you can also check out money market funds, which are giving a higher return without having to jump through any hoops. These funds invest in short-term fixed income financial products. They are highly liquid, such as government bonds, cash equivalents, and debt-based securities. You can find this in your usual low-cost brokers. Though, the downside is that they are investments and are not insured, so there are still some risk involved. For more ideas on where you can park your money, you can check out this video here. One thing to take note is that the 50-30-20 rule is not a hard rule, it's just a guide. So you can adjust it to fit to your situation. Quick pause. If you are a short-term trader, you can check out Tiger Broker's latest feature, the Cash Boost accounts. With these accounts, you will get to do contra trading without requiring you to deposit funds into the account. Instead, it only requires you to settle the gain or loss portion after you have settled the trade. This lets you maximize the usage of your capital while seizing market opportunities whenever possible. And even though you are trading via contra, you will still get to enjoy interest-free periods until the 8th trading day for the Singapore and Hong Kong market, and 7th trading day for the US market. Though, Just take note that trading may not be for everyone. So you will need to make decisions based on your own risk tolerance, yeah? With Tiger Broker's latest welcome promotion, you will stand to receive rewards of up to $3,600 US. Here's how. First, when you find your accounts with a minimum of 1,500 Singapore dollars within 7 days of first deposit, you will earn a $6 US voucher, 3 months of SGX Level 2 advanced quotes, as well as an exclusive reward of $30 US Tesla fractional shares when you sign up using my link. Then, if you can deposit 10,000 SGD or more, keep your funds there for 30 days while completing 3 buy trades, you will get to participate in 6 lucky draws to win anywhere from $120 US to $3,600 US worth of rewards. So if you are interested, you can sign up to Tiger Brokers using my link down below. With that being said, let's get back to the video. According to an article called The Shockingly Simple Math Behind Early Retirement by Mr. Money Mustache, what he found was that the more you save, the amount of years you will need to work decreases exponentially. For example, if you are saving 20% of your income, you can retire in 37 years as an ORPAC. But if you can just save 30% instead, you can retire in 28 years. That is almost a whole decade earlier if you just increase your savings by 10% a month. And if you can save 50% of your income, you can even retire in your 30s. Moving on, once you are able to properly budget your finances, the next step is to set up an emergency fund.
For what?
For emergencies lor, such as losing your job, water pipe burst, or accidentally kena accident. But take note you accidentally swiping your card and buying a new iPhone 15 Pro Max doesn't count as an emergency, yeah? For this, most people recommend saving up at least 6 months worth of expenses as your emergency fund. So, for example, if you are currently spending $2,000 a month, you will need to save $12,000 as your emergency fund. The best places to put your emergency funds are in the same savings accounts that I mentioned just now, as they let you easily access your funds whenever you need them. Now that we have settled our emergency funds, the next step is to tackle any high interest debts that we have. Personally, I would consider anything above 4% as high interest debts, as it's better to chop pay them off as fast as you can, like your student loans, which are currently charging a 4.5% interest. That's because by quickly paying off your high interest debts, it will be as though you are earning a guaranteed return of above 4% per annum. The last thing you want is for the debt to grow to a giant snowball, rolling down the hill and you gonna crushed by it. So what you can do is, while you are saving up for your emergency funds, you can also tackle your debts at the same time. For example, you can allocate 50% of your savings to your emergency funds, then another 50% for paying down the debt. Then whenever you have extra money, like your year-end bonus, you can use it to pay off your debt in one lump sum. However you want to do, it is up to you. But the important thing is to pay off your high interest debts as quickly as possible. Here's another tip. If you are saving up for your short-term to mid-term goals, which are around 1 to 5 years away, like your year-end holiday trip, wedding, honeymoon, and BTO down payment, you can park them in Singapore T-bills or Singapore savings bonds to earn around 3+ % returns per annum. But otherwise, if you're okay with taking some risk, you can also check out cash management accounts, such as Endower's Cash Smart Ultra, Stashaway Simple Plus, as well as UOB Cash Plus Extra, where you can earn up to 4.7% projected returns. Non-guaranteed and comes with some risk of course. Now that we have settled our emergency funds, paid down our high interest debts, and are saving up for future expenses, you can now finally talk about investing into the stock market. While investing may seem intimidating, like having to do stock picking research stocks buying stocks at the right price the easiest way to invest is to just invest in broad-based market index funds, where instead of just buying one stock and pray it will do well, you are betting on the entire market to do well. This is a pretty safe bet, given that markets tend to go up over the long term as companies and technologies improve over time. But there's a market crash isn't that risky? Okay, while the market can go up and down, data has shown that the S&P 500 has never gotten a negative return over a 15-year period. So as long as you stay invested, market up, you buy, market down, you cry a bit, then you buy more, you'll be fine. The annualized return for investing in the S&P 500 from 1928 till now has been around 9.9%. But let's use a more conservative number of maybe 6%. If you can consistently invest $640 a month starting from the age of 25, you can expect to have $1 million when you turn 62 years old. Wow, so long only reached $1 million. But remember, this is assuming you are just investing $640. But the more you can invest, the faster you will reach $1 million. Like if you can just double the amount you invest to 1.5k a month, you hit $1.5 million by 55 years old.
Possible.
Besides investing in the stock markets, the other way is to invest in yourself. Oh, do you mean I invest in expensive handbags to flex at my friends? Of course not lah. Investing in yourself means learning new skills, which in turn lets you earn a higher income. For example, let's say you head over to myskillsfuture.gov.sg to learn programming for $1,350. Then with that skill, you can work on some personal projects to further improve your programming skill. Like this guy who created an app to help commuters navigate MRT stations. And with this portfolio of projects, you can go and apply for a software engineering job. For example, a junior software engineer in that game company that created Genshin Impact can earn around $5,900 a month. That kind of return is way higher than any investments that you can ever make,
Including crypto.
But of course, there are also many other skills out there which you can choose from. Some don't even require you to pay and learn. For example, video editing, graphic design, photography, where you can learn from free resources like YouTube. Getting this boost in income would allow you to have more savings to activate the magic of compounding later on in life. Now that we have covered most of the main steps, here are a few more tips on how to further optimize your finances to get the most out of every dollar. First, learn how to use credit card to earn rewards. The easiest one is to use cashback cards like the UOB one. Otherwise, if you like traveling, you can go for miles cards instead. For more info, you can check out my videos on which cashback cards or which mile cards you should use. Next, consider contributing $8,000 every year into your CPF MA to enjoy tax reliefs. And if you aren't planning to use your CPF OA for your house, you can also invest your CPF OA money into Singapore T-bills to earn a slightly higher interest than CPF OA's 2.5%. Last but not least, make sure you get the correct insurance plans as soon as possible. For example, consider getting a term life insurance policy rather than whole life to save on money. Then just invest the rest. Again, here's a video to find out more about various insurance plans. Anyway, that was a quick video on how to get started on your personal finance journey as a young adult. Hopefully, you found it useful. Like, share and subscribe as I'll be posting new videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday.